All right, now we're live, back with another sensational Saturday. Thanks, guys, for checking out my video again. I'm actually here with my good friend Scorpio on the go. So what I want to do is, oh, sorry, hold on a second. Got a little delay here, but well, first, let me also introduce the fact that that I'm doing these every sensational Saturday, every Saturday, 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm sorry, this time we have to start it a little bit later, but nonetheless, it's well worth it because we got a great guest here. So you guys already know the guy. The guy's name is Scorpio on the go. Just to give you guys a little bit about him, it's the fact that he has traveled a lot, been traveling since 2009, traveled to a lot of Caribbean countries, such as you've been to Cuba, been to Haiti, Puerto Rico, been to Jamaica, the Bahamas, been to DR. Of course, currently he's broadcasting live from the DR as we speak. You
Yes, I
also
am.
also see him on shows such as Road the Tape, and also on Chantel Simone's show as well. So the brother, he's been doing big things. He's lived not only in the United States, but he also lived out of the United States, such as DR and Colombia. So this guy, he's been around a lot. So I want to introduce my guest, my main man here, and of course, you guys seen that I did a video with him before. My man, Scorpio on the go.
Yo, yo,
Yeah,
yo, that was awesome. That was awesome. Thank you. I much appreciate it. Thank you for having me, Traveler. Solo the Traveler. Thank you for having me, bro. I
no
haven't seen
problem.
you since we were in Colombia. This was back in, I think, in the holidays, right? This was
Yeah,
back in late 2020.
yeah.
So
I actually saw on New Year's Eve, the night of New Year's Eve.
yes,
Yeah,
exactly. Yes, it was a night of New Year's Eve, and then we just, met with each other, and we're just like, wow, it was real crazy.
yeah, it
So
was a
yeah,
good time.
yeah.
I'm glad because we had just did roll the tape. We actually jumped on his show. Cass, I mean, we actually jumped on the show. And then we noticed that we both were in Colombia at the same time, so that's worked out.
Yeah, yeah. So that was kind of surprising. So that was a real cool meetup.
Yep. So, but one thing I'm gonna say, I'm glad I have you on the show because from that first meetup, it was actually great. So, what have you been up to since the last time we actually met?
Well, since the last time that we met, I was actually in Colombia for 6 months. So I basically wanted to go somewhere that was kind of price friendly, and then somewhere that's been, how do I say, somewhere that kind of like different from America. So then in Colombia, I've already been there like at least 10 times before. My first trip was back in 2009. So I was like, you know what? Let me take this step to actually really go there and try to learn the culture and stuff like that. So I was in Colombia for 6 months, and then after that, after my 6 month visa was over, I finally came over to DR, and then I've been here for the past since February. So it's been a couple of months since I've been here too. So
Nice,
yeah,
nice. Got a chance to get away. That's all that matters out of the matrix.
yeah, out of the matrix, man. Out of the matrix. The matrix can, man. I'm telling you, man. It can get suffocating sometimes, And then I feel like as a black man, whenever you're traveling outside the country, man, it's just like a fresher breath air. Like whether if it's in the Caribbean or Europe or stuff like that. I still haven't been to Europe yet, but type of it just gives you a like a fresher breath air, like I said earlier.
It definitely does. First let me give a shout out to OW. Yo, what up? What up? And same thing with Jesse. Jesse Shorts. What's up, man? Hey,
What's
yo,
up, fellas?
yo, W. I gotta definitely get you on the show sometime soon, whenever you get a chance. So I know that you're busy as well. So I definitely would love to get you on whenever we get a chance. But let's move on to this. So I got a couple of questions I gotta ask you because I know that since I met you while traveling, and everybody has a story about traveling. What made
Yeah.
them to start traveling? So what got you to start traveling?
What got me to start traveling? Well, at first, I was traveling like when I was young. My mother used to take me out to trips. I have a Haitian background, so we used to come back and forth to Haiti, and then she was also in the traveling industry, so we used to take different boat trips to Bahamas, Jamaica, things of that nature. So that right there just kind of gave me the little buzz that I needed to really like, yo, this is the kind of lifestyle that I actually like. So that's what first got me into like just the whole traveling, just traveling period. And then I had my boys back in 2009 invited me to a trip to Colombia. Back then, I didn't really have any money, so I was like, you know what, sorry, can't really go or whatever like that. Then they was like, hey, we'll buy you the ticket. We'll buy you the ticket. Well, you can even stay at our place or whatever like that. And I was like, really? I was like, all right, then cool. So then since 2009, that's when it really opened up my eyes. That's when I started to travel more and then started to go more places like solo and things like that.
Nice. Yeah. So since you said it, your mother is from Haiti. Are you from Haiti as well, or were you born here in the States?
I was born in the U.S. I was born in Miami, Florida.
Oh,
So I was
nice.
born in the U.S. Both my parents were born in Haiti, but they were raised in the U.S. since like they were little. So, you know, um, yeah.
Nice, nice. So did you say what was your first destination? Was it Jamaica? You said.
My first destination, no, my first destination as well with my parents was
Mhm.
like, yeah, it was a lot of in the Caribbean. It was Jamaica, Haiti, Bahamas. We went to Puerto Rico a couple times, but my first actual destination by myself was
Mhm.
Colombia back in 2009. So
Okay,
that was
nice.
my first destination, and then I've been to a couple of places in between that time, mainly in the Caribbean.
Mhm.
And then I've also been to DR. My first trip to DR was in 2013, and then
Yeah,
ever since then, I started to come here more on a regular basis.
that's been
So
it.
yeah, yeah, it's just been it for me. It's been it for me.
The year I've been
So
home.
yeah,
So
yeah,
many
it's kind
words.
of like my third, fourth home right now.
Nice, nice. And of course, you're there right now. How long have you been there? You said since February, or have you
Yeah,
been there a lot longer?
I've been here since February, yeah, since Super Bowl. So February, March. Right now we're in April, so we're going on a little 3 months.
Nice, nice.
So
How
I've been
much
here
long? How much long you plan on being there?
probably to the ending of this month, and then I'm gonna be back in Colombia for May
Nice,
and June, hopefully, and then maybe stay like another 6 months or so.
nice, nice. So
Mhm.
with that, since you constantly living abroad, what made you want to start living abroad? Just like total, what set it off for you?
Well, me, I kind of started early, like I've been traveling since I was, like I said, I started traveling since I was little. And then when I started traveling by myself, I started traveling by myself at age 19, 20. So I always had in my mind that I wanted to stay out of the matrix. And one of a good friend of mine, his name is Russell Taylor. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know him.
Yeah.
But he lives out of the matrix currently right now in the Dominican Republic. And his videos kind of like kind of put to my head like, yo, I really have to start doing the things that I need to start doing now just so I can live like that earlier on instead of living like that at age 50, 60 years old. So
Exactly.
a couple of years ago, I just started saving up my coins, saving up my pennies. I was working in the industry, in the food industry. So, in Miami, the food and travel industry is big, so you can make some pretty good money. So I was, saving away every month until I knew that I had a comfortable savings,
Mhm.
and then I can, finally, make that jump at least for the next year. I was like, you know
Okay.
what, if I can go away for a year and then see where I'm at as far as my lifestyle and as far as relationships, and then I just play it by ear from there.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. So if you're living abroad, taking these months at a time living abroad, how is it with family? Are they cool with that, or do you getting like any pushback from the family ever since you started doing this?
Well, you know what? Not really, because my mom lives in New York. So while I was living in Miami, I wasn't really living with her. And
Okay.
all my friends and family, they see me travel all the time. So it was kind of like, oh, now you're finally doing what you want to do. So it's not like, oh, are you ever gonna like come back or stuff like that? Because everybody that knows me knows that I have a passion for meeting new people, traveling the world.
Mhm.
Well, not necessarily traveling the world yet, but I want to. And then just experiencing different cultures, trying new food and stuff like that.
Oh
So
yeah.
they know that I have a passion for that. So to them, it wasn't really nothing. And then I apologize to Chris. There's nothing wrong with 50. There's nothing wrong with that at all. But I'm just
Yeah.
saying, I want to start living my life a little earlier. You know
Yeah.
what
We
I
want to live
mean?
now.
Exactly. Like, no offense to some of the guys too, but there's a lot of guys that are living in the Dominican Republic that are like seniors, you know, and they're living their lives. They're having, you know, the best time of their lives, and then it's just like, you know what, I want to be just like you, but maybe start a little bit earlier. So
Exactly. Yeah, I
there
know
we
what you
go.
mean. And what with me, I'm trying to do the same thing myself. I'm trying to make that jump. I'm setting everything up, the way that I want it, so that when I make that jump, I'm never coming back. Only to visit.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
That's
Exactly.
So well that leads to my next question, because you said that you basically saved up a lot of money so you could live abroad. However, how are you able to maintain yourself as far as living abroad? Is it the type of work that you do, or what
Oh
is it?
well, I work remotely.
Okay, nice.
I haven't made any like I don't make no secret with that. I work
Mhm.
remotely. Currently, right now, most of the money that I make is off of Amazon drop shipping sales. So that is a field that is a very, I would say is it's a lucrative business. But when you're living abroad, you know, you can make good enough money to sustain yourself. You know,
Mhm.
so I'm doing that, and then I'm also in the crypto game. So I don't want to get too much into that part, but you know, I do invest in, you know, crypto, and yeah, that's basically it. I just get up in the morning, just get up on the computer, and then just start getting work. You know, and
That's
then
the life.
obviously I'm doing the YouTube thing, though I'm not as big as you are. You know,
I'm
but
not that
you
big.
know, I'm hoping that eventually, you know, I'll get to the point where I could be able to monetize my content and, you know, things of that nature. And then
Nice.
also like today in today's world, there are so many ways to make money online. Like
Nah, facts.
it is ridiculous. Like you can do customer service, you can do teaching, you can do. I
Mhm.
have friends that are putting me on different ideas on how I can continue to make money. So while doing that, um, yeah, plus with the savings that I had already had, then you know
Mhm.
that's basically how I'm able to sustain this lifestyle for right
All
now. You know, because I can go broke and then I'm going right back home tomorrow. You know what I'm
Exactly. I know what you mean.
saying? So
well, well, I'm sorry, since you're actually broadcasting live from the yard currently,
mhm.
So how has it been dealing with the curfews out there, since you're out there right now?
Well, with the curfews are changing over time. So
Mhm.
when I originally got here in February, right now the curfew is what is it? It's 9 p.m. on weekdays and
Mm.
7 p.m. on weekends. But then you get 3 hours of travel. So
Oh
being
yeah.
the fact that I'm in Sosua, which is a tourist area, they're kind of more lenient when it comes to that, you know? So realistically, you have about to 12 o'clock and to 10 o'clock p.m. to kind of do what you want to do what you want to do.
Not
And
too
then,
bad.
you know, you have different, I'm not going to say the names of it, but you got different hotels and resorts that may have different functions or different things that are happening. And then you can go there and then be after curfew. And then once you step out, as long as you're in a cab, you're good. You're good to go.
So,
So
so
you can,
from your perspective, like about 12 o'clock, what happens? Does the police starts messing with you, or what happens around that time or so? If you're late.
no, I mean, no, like as long as you going somewhere or you just can't be outside just hanging out, you know? But as long as you're going somewhere or if you're in a cab, they will not mess with you.
Okay,
So
good.
for the most part, because I don't want nobody to come down here and then do it and be like, "Yo, Scorpio said you
Of
wouldn't
course,
mess with me," you know. But I was because you know in the tourist area they want people to have fun and stuff like that, so they're not
spend the
as
money.
strict
Yeah.
as Santiago or Santo Domingo. If you over there, they really mean curfew, you know,
Mhm.
especially Santiago. So
I
yeah.
definitely, I believe that, especially because they want that money flowing, circulating. They definitely need that coming through at the tourist areas. I'm sure it's probably the same thing in Punta Cana or
Yeah, oh,
so,
yeah, definitely, definitely.
So as far as your experience of living there, so what are some of your best moments you could recall?
Oh wow, sorry about that. You said some of my best moments.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I would say as far as in DR, honestly, man, it's the brotherhood. The brotherhood is amazing. Like that's one thing that I would say that has not died out here is the brotherhood that you get from other brothers in the United States. It's not always
Right.
gonna be there, but for the main part, guys are friendly. Guys will come there, say what's up to you and stuff like that. So I really appreciate the brotherhood that is out here. Um, I'm from Miami, so I love the beach lifestyle. So I'm living on Sosua Beach. It allows
Right.
me to kind of like, you know, though I'm not home, I still kind of feel home. And
Oh,
then,
good.
obviously it's a party town and stuff of that nature. There's a lot of
Miami
different
feel.
activities going around. So, in a sense, I don't feel like I'm not at home. And then also I'm from Miami, so a lot of people speak Spanish. So here the people speak Spanish. Obviously, my Spanish is not great, but it's good enough. So yeah.
Okay, cool, 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 nice. So what about any bad experience have you experienced while you're there?
Any bad experience? Well, as far as what? As far as relationship wise, as far as police, as
Um,
far as
as a moment, just just anything in general that you would say that is like a con that you can't stand dealing with, or any type of bad moments. Besides, we even dig deeper or get any
okay,
details about
yeah,
relationships or anything.
yeah. Without getting, I guess, into too much detail in that, any bad experiences, man? I would say not necessarily. Like it's only as bad as you make it.
Hmm.
And then as long as you know, I consider Sasua pretty safe. So it's not like that, a lot of things happen around here. Um, what can I say was a bad experience? I mean, besides from the curfew that was at 12 p.m. not too long ago, like that was horrible. That was
Oh,
horrible.
I
But
could
I would
believe
say
that.
besides from that, I mean, it's basically, what you make of it. And then you also got to realize too that it is a pandemic. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I feel you on that one. Yeah, that's everywhere with the whole pandemic, dealing with these curfews and everything. Especially in Colombia, when we were out there, we were dealing with curfews every other day in December.
What? What? Every other day.
You know?
Sometimes 24-hour lockdown. And
Yep.
Colombia don't play. When they say curfew, they mean curfew. I will tell you that much.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
DR, when they say curfew, depend on who you are, where you at, what you doing, how much money you have on you. So it's just like
Yeah. Pay
anything
them
can
off.
be, yeah, everything is subjective. So
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So with that being said, with you being dealing with a lot of the locals since you live in there,
mhm.
your perspective of how's the interaction with them or so, knowing that they know that you're actually spending a lot of time there, and that you're not a tourist. How do they respond to you with
Well,
that?
you know what? That's a very good question. They actually treat you a lot better when they see you that you're not just here for a weekend or things like that. You get treated like a local. You start to
Nice.
see, you start to get local prices on food and just anything. They start to treat you more, local. And then, people obviously want to ask questions like, how are you able to stay here for so long and things of that
Of
nature,
course.
stuff like that. But the people here are, to me, overall, they're friendly.
Okay.
Overall, they're
Good. Good.
overall they're friendly. Obviously, there could be some moments that it can get kind of iffy, but overall, they're friendly. Um, I would say, as far as Colombia, man, they treat you really well there. As a black person myself,
Hmm.
like I went there and didn't feel as if I was an outsider. Like I totally blended in. So
Oh, I
yeah.
mean, Lindsay actually, gave us a segue into the next question I was going to have, which is, about the dating culture. Have
Oh,
basically in DR that you actually experienced. What can you say as far as being up there on the northern side of the actual country? How's the dating culture?
the dating culture. Oh man, that's a very good question. Also, the dating culture. It's what you make of it. All right. So when I say things like that, like for instance, Some brothers just want to come out here, have a good time, and then leave. All right, then that's cool. You're gonna find a lot of girls that just want to hang out and then whatever. Some guys want to come down here and find girlfriends, and then I'm gonna tell you right now, I've been coming to DR for 8 years. I still haven't found the right person, So I just want to tell everybody, like, it's not as easy as you may think. If you don't speak the language, if you're not really immersed in their culture, like it can get kind of iffy. And then what I notice here a lot too with the girls, they're very like needy, very, they're starting to get, have this a little bit of an entitlement in a way, similar to, our sisters back in the States, So the dating scene here, like I said, is what you make of it. Sometimes you have to let a person know exactly what you expect out of a relationship, because they may think something differently, and then in the end, it can cost you it can just cost you.
Yeah. And the one thing I can also say is that I'm sure that the dating culture is a bit different in Santo Domingo, in the capital. I've actually dated someone in the capital, nice woman. She actually worked at the bank. She was actually a loan officer, and it was kind of interesting just dealing with her and how they think, no matter what, if you being an American, they already think that, you got the money for everything. So, but, of course they'll take care of you. The
Everybody
women
thinks Americans have money, and I'm just telling you that is simply not true. It is simply not true. It is not true. It is not true.
Exactly, and that's what they don't understand. They just think that, they be looking at all the hip hop videos and all the other stuff, thinking that money just be thrown around like it ain't nothing, It's like, nah.
And then when you say that, I blame some of us brothers too. There's been a couple of videos circling around, brothers, flashing money. There was one in Colombia when a dude apparently got robbed afterwards. And then you have over here, like I did a video for Super Bowl, and then you can see cats throwing money in the pool and in the Caribbean Diamond Hotel. And then it's just like, yo, man, like, a lot of dudes bringing that mentality, exactly, that
strip
mentality
club
over there, and then it just caused an unrealistic expectations when a girl finally meets a guy that she's really interested in, or vice versa, because you have one dude that just did a whole bunch of stuff just to show off. And then he may not even come back for the next year or so,
Or maybe even 2 years.
Exactly, 2 years. So, it just, man, it gets.
But of course, when you see like 3 or 4 different brothers doing that, it kind of gives that perception that everybody has money, that they have no care for their money, and that's what kills it,
And then the fact that you say that is just like, I tell a lot of girls too, because a lot of girls here, especially in the Dominican Republic, like I said, are very needy. They always need something paid. They always need something done. They always need this and that. Exactly. They have different kind of problems. And then I tell them, excuse me. And then I tell them like, hey, I got bills too. I got bills over here. I got bills in the U.S. I got the people that I have to take care of, stuff of that nature. So it's just like, it's not always about you. It's not always about what you want at, whatever time. And then, there are other guys that don't have to do nearly half as much, and then they get all the benefits, So it's just like, so you already know how that situation can go, but that's why I always tell guys, like, if they coming out here looking for a relationship, take it slow, and don't. And remember, half the time it's a fantasy, especially if you plan on not staying here. If you plan on not staying here, take it for a weekend trip or whatever like that, and then move on. Because once you start doing Western Union poppies and stuff of that nature and stuff like that, then that's when it starts to get to a whole nother level. And then these chicks their expectations start to get different. So,
so since you live in Nana, what have you seen as far as that Western Union poppy stuff with some of the girls? Because
goodness. Matter of fact, I'm about to do a video on that in the next couple of days. I just have to post it up. but the sipping here has gotten to a whole nother level. It's gotten to a whole nother level, man.
Really?
And I want brothers to hear this and understand this. First of all, you got certain girls out here talking about stimulus checks, PPP loans, unemployment. I'm like, how do y'all even know about all these different things that are circling around in the US? Like, no, because you know what? Brothers are pillow talking. They talking to these girls. They're on these WhatsApp groups. They're just like spewing a whole bunch of effery. And then now they get hip to the game. And then now it's just like, that's where it is now. You know?
One thing I think is half and half, because you know that they get a lot of our news in the DR. You know, some of the stuff that they do get a lot of that stuff. So I think it's half and half. Brothers are not only simping, throwing money, pillow talking, and everything, but they also get our news and our information. You know, and that's the difference that I know for Colombia. As you watch TV, that in Colombia they don't get none of that stuff from the United States. You know, I mean, you barely get it. They'll get some news, some stuff, you know, here and there, but not like as much as DR. Because I remember being there. You got some programs, you know, some United States programs down there.
In DR, they are hip to the US. You would think that it was another state like Puerto Rico or something. They're hip to the US and knowing exactly what's going on. So, you know, I just want brothers to understand like that. That's what I always tell brothers. If you don't live here, bruh, don't do something that you wouldn't do for another girl in your own country. Yeah. I'll even tell a story. I have a brother, not going to say his name, but he got one of those loans or whatever, like 50K or whatever like that. And he got this chick an apartment for a whole year over here in DR. And then with furniture and stuff like that, he ended up paying like 5K, whatever like that. They broke up a couple of months after, right?
Damn.
So then I told him like, yo, you gonna spend all that money on her and then look, you got nothing in return. And then in his head, well, I only spent 5K, so it's not that bad. And I'm thinking to myself, bruh, it's the principle. It's the principle. It's the principle.
As if she got over.
Like, you just got her a whole year for an apartment. It's the principle of it. And then now she's gonna expect that from other dudes.
Yep. Exactly. Like, and they be talking to them. Chicas be talking.
Man, they all talk. They all talk. They all have their WhatsApp groups. They all go to the same places. And especially if they see the same guys over and over again, they're gonna tell this girl like, he pays this, he's cheap, he's that, you know, all this other stuff. Choppy, senor barato, you know, things like that. So, man, I keep telling fellas, man, you the prize, you hold the keys. Have respect for your pockets. Have respect for your wallet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly. And we got a question here from Gary. Well, not a question, but he actually has a response, but I want to pose this as a question. So Gary Mackey says YouTubers messed up DR. So what's your take on that? You think that's also included in with what messed up DR?
Well, you know what? I would say so, because when I first started to go to DR, it wasn't no YouTube channels like that. And then slowly and surely it started to pop up. And then I would say 2015, 2016, that's when it ballooned like all the way up. And then now it became more mainstream. And then now it's becoming a place where first-time travelers are going to, especially brothers that are traveling outside the country for the first time. That's like their first go-to place. And then they're still taking that matrix mentality with them. So it's not like how it used to be, you know? Like, you know, I hear about the good old days back in the early 2000s and stuff like that. I can just only imagine. You know, I got here in early 2013. So, you know, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I could believe that. So I got to pose this question for those, because I'm sure a lot of the people on here already know about DR, but this is for the playback for those people who has never been to DR, because, you know, there are a lot of people that are out there that hasn't been. So what's your take on the women as far as physical attributes? You know, 'cause I know that currently I've noticed some changes since I've been back there out there during lockdowns, and I see some a little bit more, you know. But go ahead.
I would say this, man. DR got some beautiful women. Like, I'm not even much gonna, you know, sugarcoat that or nothing. DR, there's some beautiful women on this island. But there's are different parts of the island. There's Santo Domingo where they're a bit more caramel and thicker. Then you have Santiago where they're a bit more light skin and red. Then you have Puerto Plata where they're a bit more thin and have more of a slim waist and stuff like that. So every place has like their advantages. But there are a lot of beautiful women. But I would say this lately, what I've been seeing, especially here in the North Coast in Sosua, I've been seeing a lot of out of shape women too. So there is a mix.
Oh, yeah.
There is a mix. So it's not just like, oh wow, it's whatever. There is a mixture of man from 4s and 10s, basically. You can really get a mix like that.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing in Santo Domingo. I've seen a lot of women that like blew up, and I'm just looking like, oh,
yes,
God.
yes, girls are blowing up. I don't know, like they're not eating they're not taking care of their bodies no more. Like it's becoming kind of like similar to what's going on in the States. Everybody's overweight. There's a lot of girls out here that are starting to become overweight, and then they're just, I guess they just see that they're pretty, that it'll just, carry them on. But nah, girl, you gotta like stay in shape, So yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Let me answer this question from Anthony W. He asks, what type of IT work do you do solo? Also wanted to ask. So for me, I'm a senior network engineer. So most of my stuff is all like Cisco related equipment that I do for like the network. So I work on more so like the Wi-Fi, LAN, WAN, SD-WAN, things of that nature. So I'm like more so Cisco certified. I actually have my CCNP, which is Cisco Certified Network Professional certificate. So that's what allows me to travel so much and do what I do, because being a network engineer is it's a lot of work. It's demanding, but you got a lot of rewards with that demanding position that I have. So it's actually nice. I enjoy it. So many words.
That's great. That's great. And you know what? Living here, you meet a lot of brothers that are doing things remotely and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I always like to hear, like different ideas and like different professions, really. So that's really great that you're into that solo. So much applause to you, brother.
Oh, well, thanks. Funny thing is, I actually got it from my father. My father was in the field for about 30 years, and I didn't even know he was doing that until when I started looking for something different in my life. So funny thing is, because my father, just like with you, he's down in Miami, Fort Lauderdale. So, with him, he was constantly setting up shipping switches and routers to me. And like, I'm looking like, what is this? What am I going to do with this? Like, come on, what's up with this? And then later on, years later, I'm like, I need a career change. And, somehow I jumped into that same field. I started going to DeVry, not knowing that's what he did. And the funny thing is, like, after I enrolled, I told my father, I'm like, look, this is what I'm doing, DeVry, blah, blah, blah. He's like, yeah, oh, that's nice. I've been shipping them switches and routers for you, and I've been getting you ready for that.
Damn, I was like, what? Okay.
So it just so happened that that's how it kind of worked out for me. And, I just went all the way with that.
Came out full circle.
Yeah, exactly. So, since we were talking about the chicas down there in DR, what crazy things you seen from the chicas?
What crazy things that I seen from girls out here, man? As far as good or bad, or like
whatever, man. You could tell us everything,
Man. Well, I would say there's a lot of everything may not be what you think it is, So always take it for a grain of salt. And what I mean by that, like for instance, I'll tell you one way. And like I just started to use Tinder more often lately because a lot of friends been telling me about Tinder. So a lot of the girls that I meet off of Tinder, man, I'm telling you, those filters are amazing, bro. They can do magic. They can do magic. So watch out for the Decepticons, guys. All right, you gotta watch out for that. Man. I had this one girl come over. She was the girl in the picture, but she looked so different though. It was just like, wow.
Oh God.
Filter can be ridiculous. Also, if you're dating different girls and you don't have a steady girlfriend per se, like for instance, like me, I'm single, so I date a lot. I take different girls out to lunch, to dinner, whatever like that. So a lot of times, unless if you're exclusive, if they see you with another girl, they start to get jealous and stuff like that. But if you're with another guy, they just think that you're just supposed to be whatever with it. So there's a lot of there's a lot of jealousy out here too with the girls, because I guess
Oh
there's
yeah.
competition for guys.
Yep. We just saw
And then also, if you're into mangoes have been getting quite expensive lately. So just keep that in mind, that every mango is not the same, and it's always negotiable. But overall, the mangoes here have been kind of yeah, they've been kind of more on the little pricier side. And
so.
then go ahead.
Oh, no, I was gonna say, I was gonna make a comment. Also, I got a question about the whole dating thing. First, I want to say, for the past couple, past 2 weeks on my live, I actually had No Excuse on here, and we actually had a conversation about that. He actually showed me pictures about the fact of the filters for women, because he went down there to the DR really recently, and he said that he was sending those pictures showing how the before and after the filter, and how he was getting like played because of that.
Yo, it is real. It is real. It is real. Like I've gotten got a couple of times. And you know what? This one girl did this to me also. Like I met her, right? But I met her with her mask on. So then when we were like supposed to meet up the very next day, she sent her older cousin. And then they look just alike. They have curly hair, same skin. They have the same skin tone. But it wasn't until she pulled the mask off that I saw, hold on, this is a totally different person than what I had originally thought. So, like I said, man, you just got to always make sure that everything is what it is, So.
And then also with the women, with dating them, do you get like a lot of dinner date dashes? Basically they just want to use you for food or anything like that. Have you experienced that just like the States?
Well, I would say this. I'm a gentleman, so if I'm going out with a girl, I don't mind necessarily paying the dinner and stuff like that. But I don't necessarily mind doing that. But you might get one or two off of me max. And then after that, then I'm gonna gauge on how the relationship is. And then if I feel like that you just want me for free food or just money, then I'm gonna just go on to the next person. And then that's one thing that I noticed, that a lot of I don't want to make it be a broad statement, but at least as far as in the North Coast, the relationships between Dominicans and Americans, a lot of times it can be too financially, too transactionist, I'm over here making up words, but when you're looking for something real and stuff like that, you really have to dig in.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that on that. So we also have someone here, Passport Passport Burner. He actually asked, had any of you guys thought about bringing a foreign woman back to America?
I have. Well, not to stay, but I've done it a couple of times actually. Especially if a girl has a passport. Like whenever I'm dating a chick or whatever like that, I'll ask her, "Hey, do you have a passport or whatever like that?" And if she does, then it's just like, all right, then cool. Now that means you can maybe come over to where I'm at for like a couple of days or a weekend or whatever like that. There was two different situations back in 2015 and 2017 where I brought two Dominicans to the US or whatever like that, and one stayed for 4 days, the other one stayed for a little over a week, and we had the best time. It was crazy. Nice. It was really fun. Now they didn't stay, it was just like a trip. I know other people that brought their like significant other to the US, and it didn't necessarily go well. Then I know brothers that did, and then it is going well. So it's a case by case situation,
Exactly. And for me, one thing I would say about the whole situation is that, what's up, Pablo? Gotta give them what up, Passport Bros in the building. I wish I had a bomb right here. I would have, made that whole sound effect explode, but for me, I look at it as, yeah, exactly. Hopefully real soon, but what I'm going to say is that I look at it as this, as far as, bringing women back to the States, I think that it's like this is an asterisk next to it. I look at it as the fact that, a lot of brothers would say, don't bring them back to the States, don't do that.
A lot. You hear that a lot. I'm not opposed to that. I'm not opposed to that.
Exactly.
I'm not opposed to it.
Well, here's the thing. I think that I believe there's different levels to it, because let's say, for example, if you're not making a lot of money, if you hover around 50K or so or lower, if you bring her back to the States, I don't think it's going to work well for you.
There you go. There you go.
Exactly. So, but if you're making a lot of money, over 100K, you ain't got nothing to worry about, because in your mind, you're like this. If she leaves you, I could get another one.
Yeah.
Don't mean nothing.
Yeah. and then if you was to bring her there, you can, because if you make it 40, 50, most likely you're going to be the breadwinner for a while until she gets a job. That's if she wants to get her own job and things of that nature. 40, 50 in the US, I was making that as a single guy. I was doing pretty okay. If you making that with a woman and then you're expecting to have kids and all this other stuff, it gets kind of tricky. That's my salary living in the DR. If you make it 40, 50 living in the DR or Colombia, you good.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. If you're making that live in the US single, you're still pretty good. But if you got a family, stuff like that, it can get very difficult. So I don't want to discourage brothers, but I do not also want to encourage brothers. And then also for a disclaimer, I don't want to put your business out there, but I know your significant other is Colombian, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, your wife is Colombian. I never asked you, but did you meet her in the US or did you meet her in Colombia?
I actually met her in Colombia. So
okay.
Out there, straight from Medellin and so forth. So, because I was out there, man. I'm out there tons of times. I think I've done at least about 35, 40 trips. Been out there, been going out there for the last 5-6 years. So,
so you've done more trips than I did, because I started going in 2009, but I didn't go back until 2015. So it was like a little gap.
Yeah. See, for me, it was like 2014 or so, 15 when I first went out there. And I just been going back, ever since then. My first trip was crazy. I can tell you, I had a good time. It was a 4 or 5 day trip. Then I went back about 8 months later. I just did 2 weeks. Then after that, I did 3 weeks, and it was like, kept building. So,
man, Colombia is great, guys. If I can suggest brothers to take a trip anywhere, man, Colombia is a really cool spot. But I always suggest brothers to go. Because I would also say this, I would give it to DR. They're safer than Colombia, and you can attest to this also. Colombia ain't the safest place in the world. Shit can happen.
Exactly.
But what I tell people also, because especially if you're in Medellin, the city is so big that similar to New York and California or Chicago, you have a lot of people, so a lot of personality, so a lot of chances of something can happening. Does it guarantee it? No, but can it happen? Yes.
Definitely
DR,
cues.
DR is a little bit more smaller, a little bit more spread out, stuff like that. So like I always say, people, if you're going to Colombia, go there with somebody, because I go there by myself all the time. I know that you go there by yourself all the time.
Yep.
If you know how to travel by yourself solo, then yes, you can do it. But if you one of those people that need to get babied and stuff like that,
probably first couple of trips you may want to go with somebody just to get your feet on the ground.
Definitely. And then there are plenty of WhatsApp groups. There is Discord that you and I are on that gives you a lot of different information on all these different stuff and stuff like that. So but I would always suggest people to go there with somebody.
And we got Gary Mack. He also stated that I always wanted to bring a girl back, but I know 4 brothers in the DFW that they are all divorced. They just wanted a green card. Well,
that happens. But look at you. You're good.
Yeah. See, and the biggest thing is I think they'll come down to knowing your mate. You gotta also know the language. You gotta know their language, know their culture and everything. So that all that
some dudes be so quick to like, they see a pretty face, they see something new, then it's just like, I want you mines for mine. They didn't get the chance to know the woman themselves and know if they were there for them, because I know brothers that are married to Dominicans or Colombians, and then they're having a great life. They're
Yep.
good. They're good.
And in the US too. Having a good life.
Yeah,
long marriage.
But most of them, I'll say this, most of them live in the country that they met the woman though.
Yep.
Not a lot of them bring them back, but some do. Some do. I don't oppose to that.
But we always hear the bad, the negative. That's the thing. The negative is always the biggest thing that you will hear about. You don't hear about the good cases.
The negative is always louder than the positive. You're right.
So that's one of the things, to keep in mind. But everybody's different. Your situation, everybody's situation different. That's the way I look at it as. But one of the things, like I've always tell everybody, learn Spanish, no matter what.
Definitely, man. It is like another passport.
Oh, yeah.
My Spanish is not good, but I'm telling you, just from the words that I know, I was like, yo, man, if I could, learn Spanish, brothers, learn Spanish, because it will help you along the way. So then you're not just seen as a gringo, You're not just seen as somebody that's just here to have fun. You actually are invested in it. And then, for me, for somebody that goes to the Dominican Republic and Colombia, most of the time, it's a Spanish speaking country. And then I used to live in Miami. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah. And one of the things I also would add, that doors will open up for you. You're able to go to different areas, see different things than just the tourist area, and then they look at you differently. That's why I'm able to get a lot of footage, a lot of the places I go to.
If you're Black in Colombia, you're exotic. You're exotic. You're exotic. It's like in the US when you see an Asian or an Indian, it's just something that you don't see on a consistent basis. Are there Black people in Colombia? Yes, especially in the coast, but there's not a lot, And then if there is, most of the time,
and of course, we're referencing Bogota and Medellin, as far as Black people.
Yeah. Especially those two cities, because those are the two cities that I've been to most. If you're Black there, most of the time, you're probably not seen as usually like street workers and stuff like that. So, there's a certain class that when you get there, that when they see that you're Black, it's just almost like, wow,
Yep.
So that's why I can't wait to go back, honestly.
I can say the same thing in Mexico. I don't know for some of the brothers that haven't been to Mexico. If you go to Guadalajara,
man. Everybody keep telling me about Mexico, man. I haven't been yet.
Mexico is a whole different ball game compared to what we're used to seeing in the States. As far as the women and so forth. Because we're used to seeing refrigerator looking women in the States, Mexican. But in Mexico, it's not even like that. It's a whole different ball game, and you're actually exotic in some of those cities. They're looking at you like, I got a story. Like there was a couple of times I would lay over in Guadalajara before, for me to go to Colombia. And there was times when women would like break their neck staring at me like they want to eat me up, walking into doors and everything. I'm just like, yo, I've actually had TSA agents, flirt with me. I was going through TSA at one point, and they wanted me to, they needed to check my bags. Usually you go through that in Mexico. They're really, really big on checking your bags, making sure you're not, transporting drugs or anything like that. So as we're going through all my stuff, she's giving me all these compliments and everything, telling me how much she loved my skin color and this and that, touching me. I'm just like, I see what you're trying to do,
Yeah.
But, it was for the fact that I know that I'm not going to spend a lot of time there. I left it alone. But, but Mexico, I've had some great time out there. But that is another place I say that, for being like a Black guy, whatever, you're like exotic out there, depending on which area you're at.
And then I want all the dudes, especially the Black guy, because, for all men, but especially Black, because we're Black, these places that we go to, there are great places to go to where they treat Black people, with respect, and then that's one thing that I give up to Colombia, especially. DR can have their days depending on what Black you are, but we're not gonna get into that conversation.
Yeah.
But man, like there's a lot of respect because they don't see us too often. They don't see us on a consistent basis, and then when they do see us, it's like basketball players or rappers. So when they see like a regular Black guy, it's just like, wow, it's interesting, So
So it's safe to say that's your experience. Let's shift into Colombia. So basically, it's best to say that has been your experience in Colombia, especially in Medellin. That it's just been great as far as being a black guy out there. In so
oh
many words.
yeah, it is awesome. But you have to speak Spanish though, because
Yeah.
Colombia, they're not gonna just date you just because you're American. They don't play like that. You're gonna have to be inside their culture. You're gonna have to immerse yourself in them. So it's just like it took some time, because I was there for 6 months, and then when I left, it was just like I just felt like I was scratching the surface of what I was doing there, and especially it was during a pandemic too. But then the women there are great. They're if you can find one that likes you for you, they're
they're
so
loyal.
feminine. They're feminine. They're loyal. They're submissive. They can cook. And I'm telling you, when a Colombian likes you, she's fucking with you. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say that. But she's messing with you. She's messing with you. Like she's not going out doing other stuff or it's
and these are the good
different.
girls.
Yeah, these are the good girls. Yeah. We're talking about good girls.
Yeah, good girls. I know a lot of people get confused with the other types of women and everything, think that everybody's the same way. But we want to make sure we specify these are the good girls, that they will be loyal to you no matter what.
Yeah, we're talking about the good girls. Now, obviously, there are working girls or whatever like that, if that's what you're into, and then you can go ahead and do your thing. But you can do that anywhere in the world, But if you're looking for specifically a girl that you want to meet, man, Colombia currently right now, there's a lot of single women, and then there's a woman by the name of Afro. What is her name? Afrohita. She's like one of the most popular YouTubers in Colombia right now. And then she just had a video up on it not too long ago. Yeah, and she had a video up on there, and then she was talking about the singleness in Colombia. It's getting there.
Yeah.
So right now, brothers, if you trying to go, it's the best time to go there and meet a woman that that you may want to potentially date. And then also learn this. Colombians ain't quick to move to the U.S. now.
Oh, they don't want to come. That's the thing. It's about family.
Yes, most of them ain't trying to come out here like that, because they got their families and stuff like that. So they're not trying to do all that, So that's why I can personally see myself living in Colombia. Because first, what I like about Colombia, this is the number one thing. It is, yes, that's her name, Afrohita. Thank you, Pablo. Thank you. The thing about Colombia, it's first world living and third world prices. Okay?
Yeah.
Like, I'm telling you straight up, Colombia is not a third world country. Like, there are certain parts in El Poblado and La Reles, you would think you was in New York City. It's just like, wow, this place is great. This place is awesome for the right price,
Yeah.
Like you can, I had a 1-bedroom apartment for $400 whole month, like it came with everything. And then I could have gotten it for cheaper too. But I'm just saying those are the things that you can get out there.
Especially you get it cheaper if you spoke even better Spanish and everything.
If I spoke better Spanish, if I was staying there longer, because it was just like a month-to-month thing. But man, Colombia, man, it would surprise you. I would take a girl out, man. Dinner with drinks would be $20.
Yeah, if that,
exactly.
Usually it's like 13 for me, 13,
you know what I'm saying?
15 or so, but
those are some of the things I love about Colombia, because you don't feel like that you're being used, that's one of the reasons why I kind of left the US dating scene, because the dating scene, man, it's hard for brothers, dog. It's hard. I feel sorry for my brothers that are still going through it to this day, because it's hard. You go through so much and get so little, and then at the end of the day, you're left with the,
Well, we know Kevin Samuel shows it. It shows it every night.
Yes. Kevin Samuel's blowing up right now. Yeah. So it's just like, and then he exposes all that. And it's just like some of these women, like when you see them jump on the show, it's like, these are not even average women. And then they're thinking like this. So imagine about the women that are like up to that, so it's just like, guys, all right, cool. I'm gonna just take my talents elsewhere. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
I'm telling you, man,
We're
us
more
dudes,
valuable.
we're the prize. Exactly. We are the prize. We're more valuable. Like, if the only thing you can offer to me is between your legs, then you, that's I can get that anywhere in the world. So it's just
Exactly.
like,
So, and one thing I'm gonna add about Colombia, make sure you do your research on the culture. For me, I spent years like researching the culture, understanding, speaking the language, speaking the lingo, having their slang and everything. Like
mhm.
all that matters. You gotta do the work. And if you want to get a good girl, you gotta not only
You
learn,
gotta
learn
put in the
Spanish.
work. You gotta put in the
Yep,
work, dog. It is not
exactly.
easy because, like I said, I was there for 6 months. At one time, I was thinking to myself, when I come back, I gotta get in the groundwork because it's not easy just coming there thinking that you just go find a girl, the right girl,
Yep.
But I'm telling you, there are a lot of prospects out there, and then there's a lot of single women. But then also, you gotta say the bad things too.
Yeah. Let me start with
Um,
the 80%. Single mothers.
Oh,
Yeah,
I was gonna
that's
say
the one
that.
thing.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that. I was gonna. Yo,
I
you
was
was
like,
reading my mind, bro. You was reading my mind. I was gonna say that. Like me, I stepped away from the U.S. dating scene to get away from because it's an epidemic. In
yeah,
the Dominican Republic, it's up there also.
yep,
In Colombia, it's just as high. I
yeah,
was like, damn. Everybody here is a single. Like, it's very hard to find a girl that's not a single mother. And
yes.
then, not
That's on the
trying to
age.
talk ish to my single mothers, but it's just like it is what it is. I met this
Yep,
beautiful 22-year-old. She had 2 kids.
yep,
I met a 24-year-old. Her kid was 10.
yeah.
I'm
They
like,
start
what?
young.
I'm
Yeah,
like,
they start young.
I
That's
was
the thing
like,
about it.
damn. So it's just like,
But the only difference is, I would say with a single mother out there is that they would still respect you as being a man, no matter what. If you were to come in and
true.
step in, and that's the the positive. If you were to deal with a single mother, the
Hmm.
fact that she will come underneath your authority, and that you will be the king of the castle. You ain't got to worry about
Absolutely. It's
her trying
all
to.
it's all case by case
Yep.
situation. I don't want to be like, guys, do not date single mothers. I'm not one of those people. I was raised by a stepfather, an amazing stepfather. So I thank God that I had him.
Hmm.
But I'm not necessarily that kind of guy right now. So I prefer to date non single mothers. But I'm telling you, when you coming out to these countries, it's not that easy. Everybody got a kid. Everybody, baby, daddy left them for whatever reason. And it's just like it's always his fault.
Yep. Yep.
It could be it most of the time, but it's just like,
Yeah, because
all
we know
right,
how Colombianos are. They,
yeah,
the whole relationship dynamic is that they get with them young, they get them at their prime years, and
and
and then as soon as they get them pregnant, a lot of them will bounce.
oh yeah, a lot of them will bounce. A lot of
They're
them will
like, I'm,
bounce.
I'm good.
Yeah,
Move on to the next one. You know,
and that's the risk that they take. Wait,
yeah,
Chris Rica, he said, in a
yeah, Chris,
relationship with
what
Colombia,
up?
do you guys think visiting every other month is cool? She texts 3 times. I mean, if you, I mean, before I was staying there, I was staying in Miami. So I used to go to Colombia like every other month for like a weekend. But then it was price effective for me because I was going for less than $200 round trip,
Mhm.
and then so then it was like really quick. I wouldn't miss no days of work and stuff like that. So yeah, if you can do it, all right, then cool.
Yeah,
But I would say for the most time, guys, if you're not living there, it's really hard. I know.
yeah.
Oh man, there's this girl. I'm not gonna say her name, but she works on Sasua Beach. She has a guy in the States that's sending her money. He thinks she's a good girl or whatever like that.
And
She's
this in
not selling
DR.
her body. Yeah, this is in
Yeah.
DR. And then the other day she had a fight with her boyfriend that
Oh
stays here,
man.
you know? And then I was like, yo, and then everybody at the restaurant was like, yeah, that's her baby's father or whatever like that. And I'm like, yo, this guy sends her money every month. And he's part of my WhatsApp group. He's probably watching this, whatever like that. I'm not even gonna tell him nothing. I'm not even
Mhm.
gonna tell him nothing. It's just like, dog, if you're not staying here, dog, anybody can do whatever the hell they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And there's so many memes or videos of down in DR, talking about, the two boyfriend situation and how, a lot of Dominicanas, how they think and everything, it's kind of
They get
interesting.
upset whenever that comes up. They get upset. They get so hot. They get so mad.
Yeah,
But
exposing a lot of the messed up stuff that goes on, some of the stuff that goes on, but for me, it's, I mean, like it's a Sosua area, I wouldn't even trust, a girl out there in general just because of the environment, and I'm sure you could probably find something really nice in like Santo Domingo or whatever,
you
maybe
can't.
La
Let me tell you
Vega.
why I chose Santo Domingo. I mean, why I chose Sosua. Because at the time with the curfew, I wasn't too sure on how Santo Domingo or Santiago was. And then when I went there for a couple of days, they were really strict with the curfew.
Mm-hmm.
So me, I like to go out, party, stuff like that. Sosua was still ideal for me. And then
Yeah.
also Sosua is very transit. What I mean by that is that you meet a lot of girls from the capital, Santo Domingo, Santiago, Puerto Plata. They
All
come
over.
out here for a weekend to hang out, to meet different guys or whatever like that. So you still get the opportunity to really see different that you wouldn't see necessarily in those other spots, But yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I wanna also touch on Chris, on his chat what he actually stated over here. And what up, Chris? Hey man, thanks for joining in. I catch you on IG. Good guy, good guy. I actually met him in Mexico too. I actually met him out in Rosarito Beach back in July. So we had a good time to chop it up.
What up, Chris?
But one thing I'm gonna say is that when dealing with a Colombiana, for me, I was going out there once a month. When my relationship first started, I was out there every month, trying to, make sure put her through the test,
Yeah.
Sneaking up on her, just seeing everything, jumping in the house, spending time over there, so you got to do these things. Me, I have trust issues, so I'm going to be
same thing. Trust me, same thing.
Exactly. So
I will push you through a test. I would.
Yep.
I would send one of my friends at you to offer you money just to
Yeah.
see if you would break, So,
Exactly. I'm gonna pop up. I'm there every day. All up in the house, seeing who's coming by, who's saying what. And I'm listening to conversations and everything. So you gotta do your investigation and everything. You gotta make sure you feel confident, in her. Just in general. Not saying that every girl, is bad or whatever. But for me, I wanted to make sure that I wasn't gonna get played.
You know what I say to everybody? Assume the worst with everyone,
Yeah.
and then have them build the confidence and trust to where you can kind of let your guard down, but have your guard all the way up because you don't want to get burned, you don't want to get hurt, you don't want to be a Western Union poppy like Pablo said, because there are plenty of them. There's plenty of them, man. There's plenty of Western Union poppies, and then I'm telling you, they got their boyfriends or mans, on the side while you sending them money. So you taking care of a woman plus her man,
and a man,
maybe her kids, stuff. So it's just like,
yeah, they drinking Presidente, all the weekend, enjoying it, kicking on your dime. You got to watch out for that.
It's sad, man. It's sad. And today, the beach was swole today, man. Because
Really?
you know what? It's Easter weekend. Easter weekend is very popular here in DR. Like it's a big family day. So the beach was, oh my goodness, like it was ridiculous. So there was a lot of people out here today.
No curfews during the day or anything like that because
there ain't no curfews. But then there are a lot of places that are closed.
Okay.
Like for instance, I'm not gonna say the resort name, but there was a certain resort that was closed yesterday, and then I think it may be open back up tomorrow or today. I'm not sure. There was a restaurant that I go to a lot. It's called Aruba Kings. That was closed yesterday. Flip Flop was closed. So the beach was still open, but there was a lot of places that were closed though.
So touching back on Colombia, while you were out there living there for the past for 3 months,
6 months.
For 6 months, did you see any craziness going on as far as with the chicas and with dealing with people with foreigners?
Well, yeah, I have, man. I have. Like as far as with like foreigners and stuff, like I was go back to this. Colombia ain't all that safe, So it's just like depending on where you at what time, things can happen, you know? So, you know, I would suggest people like to not visit downtown late at night, you
Yeah.
know? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about. You know what
Oh
I'm talking
yeah.
about. If you go there late at night, man,
You
people
better
was
make sure you
always
speak in
warning me.
Spanish.
People were always warning me about that. When I went there, I was like, "Oh damn, it get really hood out here.
Yeah.
Like
Oh
it
yeah.
can get really serious. You can have some fun though. There's
Yeah.
bars and little clubs and stuff, but if you're not there with somebody that's never been there before, whatever like that, you know, preferably don't go.
Yeah. Or don't
I've
open your
seen,
mouth.
yes, don't say nothing. I've seen knives getting pulled out on people over there.
Yeah.
I've seen
Oh
people
yeah.
fighting. I've seen crazy stuff going
And music
down there.
videos. I've seen music videos being filmed too.
Yes.
You know, movies and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
my first trip to Colombia, I actually, good thing, you know, good friend. He actually took me and my boy Jared out there to Central. My first night, actually, I just got in like 4 hours later. Next thing I know, we
Please
in
don't
Central.
tell me that. Please don't tell me that you had your phone out.
Yeah, oh no, that was another day. You know?
Okay.
I learned that lesson too.
They would snatch that. Give me that shit.
Yeah. Don't play with the phones out there at
Yeah, they
that
don't
time
play with
too.
the phone.
They quick on that, you know, snatching phones and selling it. You know, I've also heard, you know, stories and other dudes in groups who actually their first time being out there and got their phone snatched and, you know, sold. You know, only took them like maybe not even an hour. Next thing you know, they calling their phone and it's at the pawn shop. You know?
Oh wow!
Yeah, they don't play out there, man. You know, yeah, especially now, you know, because you know I need to make a video about the do's and don'ts about Colombia. I've been talking about it with a couple of my friends, but you know, like because too many dudes are going out there just doing dumb stuff, and it's like, yo, I mean, what are you doing? You know what I mean? I'm sure you saw the video circulating of, you know, the guy that got stuck up, you know, who
he deserved it. He deserved it.
Yeah.
If you want to come out here stunting on Colombia will stun on you. I'm telling you, don't do it.
And it was bad before the pandemic. Now it's like even worse because of the fact that they weren't working.
Exactly.
So you're gonna get got.
Also, I would say this. This has never happened to me, but I know stories and things of that nature. Be careful with getting drugged.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's never happened to me, but it is something that happens.
Devil breath or something like that.
Yeah, devil breath or all these other different kind of drugs. Like just whenever you're out drinking, just make sure that you know you just keep aware on your drinks and stuff of that nature. If you leave the drink at any moment, just get another one. You don't want because I've been drugged before one time, and let me tell you, oh man, luckily I have friends with me. Oh boy.
Tell us about that story. What happened?
This was my first time in Colombia back in 2009. So me and my homie, we went out with a couple of girls or whatever, right? And then this is where I had messed up. So one of the girls had a drink, and then I sipped some of her drink out of it, right? And then somebody had put something in her drink. Whoa. So we both blacked out. Wow. But luckily my friend was there and then took care of me. But the last thing I can remember, I'm at the party having fun. Next thing you know, I woke up in my bed. I was like, oh shit, something bad happened. Man. I was like, something bad happened. But
so you're checking your accounts and everything like, yo.
But luckily, like I said, I had a friend there with me. So he had to take care of me. He told me that I was throwing up in the taxi. So he had to pay the taxi, you know, stuff like that. So, you know, yeah. So, and then normally I travel by myself. So I could just imagine if I was by myself and, you know, something would have happened. Yeah. But, you know, that can happen and getting drugged.
Yeah, one thing I say, whenever I travel by myself, I'm actually not even drinking. You know,
yes,
and if
I drink less. I drink less. I make sure I keep it to a minimum. If I'm by myself, I keep it to a minimum. Yeah,
or I'll just get a beer. You know, something that makes it hard for them to drop something in there, if anything. You know, because you don't want to. You know, last thing you want to do is find yourself in a bad situation in an alley somewhere. You know, and all your accounts been cleared out. That's not good. And they're doing that big in Bogota. That was like a big thing. You know, they're doing, especially a lot of tourists. So. And I tell people, hey, be careful out there. You know,
you have to be careful in Colombia. Colombia is a beautiful country. There's a lot of opportunity, but you know, just just be aware, and then just move accordingly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, which is true. That's which is true. So and as far as your perspective, as far as the women in Colombia, because I already talked, talked to No Excuse. He gave me his perspective of Colombia, of the women. So, what is your perspective of them?
Well, they're different from Dominicans. They're a bit more lighter in the skin tone. They are very attractive overall. Like you can go almost anywhere in Colombia and find a drop dead gorgeous. Like the average Colombian is like a 7.
Yeah,
It's like, yeah,
I'm
like
7 in the States.
yeah, exactly. So it's just like the average. Like it's just like the average girls there would be better in the States. So it's just like the women there are beautiful. Um, yeah, but then the thing with it though, like I said, I was there during a pandemic, so
Mhm.
there was not a lot of movement per se.
Yeah,
You
yeah, only
know,
at the malls, if that.
exactly. Like the only time you can really meet good girls per se is like at the mall. I don't necessarily like Tinder too much because I feel like everybody there's are like pros and stuff.
Yeah,
Not saying everybody is, but that's what you get a
but
lot.
yeah, especially in Tinder right now.
Yeah. Me, how I try to like honestly, how I go about dating, I go to the bars, I go to the restaurant, I try talking to the servers, I try talking to the bartenders, I try talking to like, anybody that kind of has like a regular job kind of thing,
Yeah,
like especially in the service industry, things of that nature. That's what I tend to look for in a woman because I like girls that are self-sufficient and that don't necessarily need me. Like they can do it all by themselves, but me would just be an added bonus.
so if you could do me a favor, give me a contrast of the Dominican women compared to a Colombian women. What are the
Dominicans
pros and
have overall, personally, they have better natural bodies.
yeah,
If you're into Moreno skin color, Moreno dark, black, brown, Dominicans got that over Colombia. Colombia got them too, but not in an abundance.
yeah,
Okay.
I agree.
Um, as far as the experience that I get with a Colombian compared to a Dominican is night and day. For the Colombians, you will 9 out of 10 times will have a great experience. Will have a great experience. Whether if you're dating, whether if you're just going out, whether if you whatever. Like they always know how to make you feel good.
Yeah, and
Colum
compliment you too.
they compliment you.
I
They
like that.
they treat you very well. Dominicans, if they like you, they feeling you. If they
Yeah.
really like you. So it's just like
I think with Dominicans is like more physical. They'll be more physical on you. They're definitely feeling you. That's what I got my perspective. As far as dealing with Dominican and Colombians. That Dominican would like be all up on you, always trying to kiss on you and everything. They're extremely affectionate. From what
They
I,
are.
I
They are. They are. They're extremely affectionate. They're extremely jealous.
oh yeah,
They're extremely jealous, and then they can be a little feisty, which is not a bad thing, but as long as it's controlled. And then, yeah, and then I would say for the most part, Colombians they're very nice. They're very nice. They're
yeah,
just very like just naturally nice. You don't ever feel like they're trying to get one over on you
yeah.
all the time. Like you can actually see yourself something more than just fling.
Yeah, yeah, I could definitely agree about that. And that's the biggest thing I love about the Medellin culture is that they're extremely nice. You could talk to anybody, left and right, on the street, and they're not even going to try to ask you for money just because you ask for directions or something like that. So
True, true,
that's one thing I
true.
love about the culture there. In each city they got their own culture in Colombia, which I definitely like. From Cali, Cartagena, Medellin,
Cartagena, yeah.
Bogota. See, Bogota a little different. They're Bogota more like the big cities of United States, so they're a little bit more cold.
Mhm.
If you try to talk to them, they'll be like, hey, what you want, okay, I'll help you out, but not like they're inviting, like being in Medellin.
I honestly I haven't been to Bogota in so long. It is very cold,
Yeah,
like physically and like
and the whole
and yeah,
environment,
yeah, exactly. Like
you know.
especially when I used to first go out there, which was early. This was before Google Translate, so it was hard to get around. And then like if you was getting in the cab man, it was so difficult. Like I would literally have to get my Dominican girls. I would have to stand back and wait for her to, wave a cab, and then, I would finally get in. This was back before Ubers and stuff like that. So, and then I didn't say this, but I had a gun pointed at me in Bogota.
Oh, really? Oh, man.
Yeah, exactly. And it was my first trip to Colombia. So, me, I was like, oh, shit, I'm about to get killed in Colombia,
First
But
trip.
exactly. So, but
And there's some
luckily,
sketchy areas too in Bogota. Oh, man. Some
yeah,
real
man.
sketchy areas.
They had mistaken us for some other guys. So they pointed a gun at us, but then after 30 seconds of dialogue, they realized that we wasn't who they thought that we were. And then the guy put the gun back in his pocket, got in the car, and drove off. I'm like,
Yep.
that's it? Like, the fuck? 30 seconds of my life, like, I was like, oh my God, I'm about to die. But you know what? After that moment, I was ready to go home, right? Because I was in Colombia for 10 days, and that happened like on the third day. So I was ready to go home. But after that day, I had a great time. I had a great time.
Cool.
I had a great time. So it's just like, it's all on how you make it. It's all on the experience, Like, I know some people that have been to DR the first time and had a horrible experience, and then they've never been back. So it's just like, it's just all on your experience.
It depends on the person.
It depends on the person. He actually hit a moto concho, and then they basically got money from him. Like, how do you say?
That's
they
big.
tried to
they extorted him,
extorted him for money. And
that's
it was like
regular out there.
Yeah, and it was like $4 or $5 grand, and that's a lot of money,
man.
Especially if you're just out here for a trip.
Yeah.
So he went to jail. He had to call people's back home to help him bail him out. So yeah, man. So, and that was his first trip here. So it's just
he's like never ever going back, because you know how they are. Like, you know, one of the tourist traps I would say in DR is like, if you're ever in Santo Domingo, if you got an early flight to get out of there, and of course, if you try to go through like the back way to try to get to the airport, there is always a police standing there trying to stop you, to try to shake you down. Right when you cross over the bridge. I'm not sure if you know exactly where that's at. Crossing over the bridge to like to get out to the main expressway. They're always there every morning trying to shake you down. And I've tried everything possible not to to pay them, from acting like I don't understand Spanish.
I do the same thing. I don't know what you're saying. I don't have no money. And you know what? Since I've been traveling, I've gotten better at that, of not getting shaken down. Because in Colombia, they try to do that to me a couple times. Didn't happen. And DR, they try to do that to you, especially in like the bigger cities and stuff like that. You just gotta have some balls and stuff. But unless you did something wrong, sometimes it's better to just pay it off. But
especially if you're in a rush too. You're like, man, come on, man.
But I don't like to reward bad behavior. Just because I know you're just trying to extort me, and I'm just pay you off.
Yeah, exactly. And that's their hustle. That's the thing. I remember one time, oh man, here's my story in DR. I was in Santo Domingo, and they had a festival going on, and I was staying off of forgot the name of the street, off the ocean. I think it was Washington Avenue or something like that. I forgot what it is, but basically, during the time of me coming back to the hotel, they blocked off the entire street. And I'm just like, how am I going to get back to the hotel? You know what I mean? Like, you just blocked everything off, and you telling me I can't go through here. So finally, I'm trying every way, and you can see everybody driving around. The traffic is bad. Everybody trying to find a way to get through there, because they blocked it off without having a good plan of how they're going to allow people to get back to the hotels or things like that. And then finally, I was like, forget it. You know what? I'm about to go down the wrong way of this street. I don't care. They do it all the time anyway, so I'm about to go ahead and do this. So basically, when I'm like about to pull up to the hotel, police right there stopped me. I'm just like, damn. So basically, long story short, they took my ID, because I'll try to tell them the whole situation, like, nah, you're going down the wrong way. It don't matter. So as we driving, they're trying to take me to the to their police station, and finally I'm like, you know what? No, let's tell them that I have some money for them, and that we'll just squash it that way. So finally, we pulled over again. I told him, here's the money. You know what? Here, just let me get my ID back, whatever. And I didn't get my driver's license. I get my state ID just because, And I'm like, hey, you ain't about to take that away from me, but
Yeah.
but still, I still wanted it anyways. I didn't want to have any record on me, anything like that. But in a way, I squashed it by giving them about, I think I gave him like $20 or something like that. I think it was $20 I gave him, or 15,
20
somewhere like
bucks
that.
would normally get it done in these countries.
Yep. So I get it, and then everything was good. So then after that whole situation, we drive to the end of the road where that street that was blocked off. They opened it up a little bit just to let cars drive through there. I'm like, man,
Wow.
ain't this awesome?
Sometimes it's just about the luck of the draw.
Yeah, man. DR boy. I have stories for days of them trying to shake me down. That's why I'm like,
yes. DR will shake you down. Trust me, they will get you shook.
yeah. So, basically, Gary Megan said, I heard the DR is Sesame Street compared to Colombia. I wouldn't say that.
Sosua is Sesame Street. Sosua, because we always, we're talking about mainly Sosua right now, but DR is a very big place, So, yeah, you can't compare Sosua to Colombia, obviously. You have to compare cities to cities, like Medellin to Santo Domingo. Things like that. That's how you can do like a fair comparison, and then you can kind of go from there.
And even then, it's hard to even compare Sosua because it's such a little town.
It's a little town.
town.
It's a little town. It's a little town. But like I said, it's very transit. So, but yeah, it's a very small town.
Yeah. Have you been to La Vega, anything like that, or?
Oh, you know what? No, I haven't, but I've been meaning to.
Yeah,
I actually have a friend that's been telling me to come out there and see her. So I may go maybe this week. Who knows?
Yeah, nice. Yeah, because for me, like I'm trying to hit up, like if I do go back, I'm trying to hit up all the other main cities of DR and everything. So only thing left on my list is probably La Vega, yeah, and Santiago. Those are the last two. For me.
If you're here around the time I'm here, let's them meet up and then let's them do a collab on that.
Oh, for sure.
We can definitely make something happen. Yeah,
definitely, man. Because I just got to get that in my books, man, just to say I've done it.
Of course. So, like I said, I'll be here for the rest of this month. I'll be going to Colombia for the 2 months after that, and then I'll be back here in July. So whenever we can make it happen whenever.
Oh, definitely can make it happen then. Do you have any final thoughts before we end this? Since we've been going on for about almost an hour and 30 minutes, so I want
to. Yeah, absolutely, man. Yo, this was a great live. I really appreciate you for having me on. I hope that we're gonna be doing more throughout, the year, whatever like that. This was very good.
Definitely.
Very good conversation. So I hope the brothers that were watching this and that watched the playback and enjoyed the content. Sorry for making it as long as it was. We'll try to shorten it for the next time and then be more precise with everything. But thank you guys for joining us, And then Solo, man, I love what you're doing. I love the consistency of your work. So just want to say, man, congratulations, because you're like, you have a nice amount of followers now. So compared to what it was last year. So this space of us YouTubers, I really, appreciate it. So, man, I hope to see you soon, either in Colombia or DR, or maybe even Mexico.
No problem, man. Thanks again. Definitely appreciate it, man. And same here, man. I definitely look forward to, to even, meet up with you again and to do another live, man. Because we gotta do one about Haiti. That's big right there.
Oh yeah, most definitely. We're gonna do one about Haiti. I haven't been to Haiti in the past couple of years because of the whole administration, and then there's been a lot of safety issues that are going down in Haiti right now. But when I used to go, man, in Cape Haitian, bro, Cape Haitian is the best city in Haiti. I'm gonna tell everybody right now, Cape Haitian is the best city in Haiti. And if you ever get the chance, man, there's just so much culture there, man. It's beautiful, and then you feel like you're home. I always say this: every Black person should go to Haiti at least one time in their life. At least one time in their life. Because it's almost like it's the closest place to Africa without actually going to Africa. You know? And then you can feel like that you're at home. You can feel like that you're at home. And then, so hopefully that'll be coming within the by this year or whatever. And then I look forward to the next live show.
Yeah, the place that you mentioned, isn't that where they have the largest
the Citadel? That's where the ninth wonder of the world or seventh wonder of the world. That is where they have the castle.
Oh, okay, the castle.
the Citadel. They have the Citadel and San Souci.
Oh,
So
okay.
set like San Souci was the first castle that they had built, and then the king built another one behind it, which is on the tallest mountain on the whole island. He
Oh,
built it on
nice.
that island, I mean, on that mountain, because you can see everything. You can see
Mm,
Jamaica, you can see Cuba from that very top point, you know. And
nice.
then if he was to ever get attacked, he can basically see it from before. But he ended up dying
Oh,
before
completed.
it
Yeah.
before it was done, you know. So you know how that goes.
Yep, yep, nice. But what about the spot that they have like the longest, the biggest zip lining in
They
the all
do.
of Caribbean?
They do have the biggest. I think it's all in the world, honestly, if I'm not mistaken. But they do have the longest zip lining, and I actually never done it yet. But if we take a trip out there, that's one thing. You
Yo,
know what
I'm
happened?
game.
Let me tell you, I was gonna go and do it because the last time I was in Haiti, I was there for like 4 days, and then when I went to go and do it, they told me that I had to do like a reservation.
Oh, okay.
And then the reservation was like they were like booked for like the next 6 7 days. I like, oh damn. So that's something that you have to book before you go to Haiti.
Oh,
Do that
okay.
beforehand just so they can pencil you in, because I thought I could just show up and then I'll be good.
Mhm.
Nah, it's not like that.
Is it through a website or like WhatsApp or so? If you try to book in advance?
I'm pretty sure you can go through like different like the one I saw was through Trip Advisor, but
Okay.
you can go to like different other stuffs there. The food there is amazing. The people there are very
Oh
friendly.
yeah.
The food there is amazing. I'll say that again.
Yeah.
So it's similar to like if you are into Louisiana Creole food, it's very
Mhm.
similar. Very similar.
Nice.
Very similar.
Well, once again, man, this is your boy, the Scorpio on the go, man. I gotta, yo, I'm glad I got you on here, man. I'm glad that you're here, enjoying this time and giving us all this information and everything, man. Yo, Steph,
Anytime,
you gotta
brother.
give it up to you, man. But
Our
well,
first
I'm
live show.
at first I thought you done a couple with
No,
no,
I
you
said
done.
our first live
Oh
show.
yeah, our
Our
first.
first
Yeah,
live.
there we go.
Yeah,
Yeah, our first. So
yeah,
I heard the applause in my ears. So
yeah.
yeah, it's nice. I'm glad we got this going, and one of the many that we're gonna be doing. So you
Absolutely.
know, But just for everybody to know, of course, I'll be back next week again at 3 p.m. Central Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time. So every Saturday I'm having a live show. So come back and check out. I'm always gonna have somebody on here, a new guest, and of course repeating guests, on here. So if you guys want to get some more travel information, I'm always gonna bring you guys good people who've been traveling for a long time, who've been around, that will give you some good information. So don't forget, come back and check it out. And with that, say we out of here.
We out. Peace.
Peace.